Work environments can foster romance, and the movie business is no exception. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 directors who dated their stars.
No question, man. I think we're doing the mature thing without any doubt.
For this list, we've chosen directors who have dated their equally famous stars. For eligibility requirements, the actors must have had a starring role in at least one of the director's productions, whether it be in the movies, plays, or TV series.
Are you aware of the concept of doctor-patient confidentiality?
Directors who had flings with actors in small roles are not included, or else the list would probably contain everyone in Hollywood.
I'm not sure that I agree with you 100% on your police work there, Lil.
Number 10. James Cameron and Linda Hamilton.
Why me?
James Cameron and Linda Hamilton met during production for the first Terminator movie, with James as the director and Linda in the starring role of Sarah Connor.
Look, I am not stupid, you know. They cannot make things like that yet.
This initiated a working relationship that would be financially beneficial, as both reprised their roles in Terminator 2, and that film capped one of the most successful movie franchises of all time.
Mom!
Come with me if you want to live.
Meanwhile, their relationship changed from professional to intimate around the same time that Terminator 2 hit theaters, when they moved in together, and Linda became pregnant shortly after.
You don't know what it's like to really create something, to create a life.
The two would marry in 1997, but then divorced in 1999, with Hamilton receiving an alleged $50 million settlement.
Keep it under 65. We don't want to be pulled over.
Affirmative.
Number 9. Roger Vadim and Brigitte Bardot.
Vadim was exactly the opposite of what my parents would have wanted me to meet.
Roger Vadim was notorious for his courting of famous starlets.
Vous m'avez bien mis.
Pas encore.
Along with Brigitte Bardot, Vadim dated many international actresses, from the Dane Annette Struyberg to the French Catherine Deneuve and the American Jane Fonda.
Wait, let me adjust my tongue box.
The Bardot relationship started when Vadim, a young director's assistant, saw her on the cover of Elle magazine. His recommending her to director Marc Allégret helped launch her screen career, as she would go on to star in a number of Vadim's own movies. They married in 1952 when she was just 18, but divorced 5 years later.
Tu lui en veux?
Je le déteste.
Number 8. Paul W.S. Anderson and Milla Jovovich.
They're just going to entertain everybody, and the rest of us will just sit back.
Paul W.S. Anderson isn't the only director Milla Jovovich has dated. Before meeting Paul Anderson on the set of Resident Evil, Milla dated Luc Besson, her director in The Fifth Element.
You're going to have to learn to develop those communication skills.
She eventually married Besson, but the relationship had turned sour by 1999. She would eventually find solace in Anderson 3 years later.
There's a cure. The process can be reversed.
He directed the Resident Evil series and The Three Musketeers, all of which Milla starred in.
Satisfied?
Immensely.
She and Paul married in 2009 and have 2 children together. Remarkably for Hollywood standards, the two are still together as of early 2016.
What's your lucky day?
Number 7. Sam Taylor-Wood and Aaron Johnson.
But he wouldn't speak to me, and he had the accent down, and he had the voice down, and he was not speaking to me as Aaron, he was already speaking to me as John.
Visual artist Sam Taylor-Wood made her feature-length directorial debut with Nowhere Boy in 2009. The film is about the adolescence and creative maturation of John Lennon, a role that was played by 18-year-old Aaron Johnson. The 42-year-old director began a relationship with Johnson on set, and they were engaged by the time of the film's release.
You've been in the news as well a little bit because, of course, the director of Nowhere Boy is now your fiancée. You're engaged now to Sam Taylor-Wood, the brilliant British artist, and did a fabulous job on that as well.
They married in 2012, took on Taylor Johnson as their last names, and have since birthed 2 children.
It's just a family home, so I'm just excited for them.
Well, that's a lovely thing. On the school run, do teachers ever think you should be in the class as well?
Sam also later directed the 50 Shades of Grey movie, which is the most controversial move of her career as far as we're concerned. Age gap be damned.
Impressive.
Number 6. David Lynch and Isabella Rossellini.
I sprayed your apartment. I took your key. I didn't mean to do anything except see you.
In David Lynch's mind-bending thriller Blue Velvet, Italian actress Isabella Rossellini had a starring role.
She wore blue velvet.
She became infatuated with the offbeat director, and a romance began while filming the 1986 surrealist classic.
He wore blue velvet.
Despite his reputation as an eccentric, Lynch is known to lead quite a normal home life, all things considered.
What the hell's going on? You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
He and Rossellini had an amicable 4-year relationship, even becoming engaged at one point, with the breakup occurring because of David's aversion to Isabella's pungent cooking. That's not a joke. Number 5. Vincent Minnelli and Judy Garland.
Personally, I wouldn't marry a man who proposed to me over an invention.
Well, we can't be too particular. Although we love Rose, the brutal fact is that, well, she isn't getting any younger.
Hello, Rose. There's the poor old maid now.
Judy Garland is of course famous for playing Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and Vincent Minnelli is known for directing movie musicals like Meet Me in St. Louis, which Garland starred in.
I love him more than I can say.
It was during the production of this movie that the two met and fell into temporary love. They would marry in 1945 and remained that way for 6 years before splitting.
Do you think it's possible to be an actress and be happily married?
Well, I don't think anybody who married me thought so.
It wasn't all for naught, though, as renowned actress Liza Minnelli was a product of their relationship.
Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen.
Number 4. Joel Coen and Frances McDormand.
The drive-in is closed.
Joel Coen is one half of the Coen brothers' writing/directing team.
Are we going to split hairs here?
No.
Am I wrong?
They broke into mainstream movies in the 80s, and one of the first people that the Coens cast in their professional career happened to be Frances McDormand, an actress with no previous credits.
Am I screwing something up by being here?
No.
Their film debut Blood Simple put the Coens and McDormand on the map, and launched a long-standing relationship with Frances and Joel. They have been married since 1984, and Frances has starred in several of the Coen brothers' movies, the most notable of which is Fargo, for which she won an Academy Award.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah. Number 3. Steven Spielberg and Kate Capshaw.
5 minutes. You'll be back over here in 5 minutes.
I'll be asleep in 5 minutes.
5. You know it, and I know it.
Kate Capshaw is best known for playing Willie, the female lead in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and it was during the production of this film that she met Steven Spielberg, the director of the Indiana Jones franchise.
I can be hard to handle.
I've had worse.
But you'll never have better.
However, Spielberg was still involved with Amy Irving at the time. When Irving and Spielberg divorced in 1989, Kate was given an opening.
Hey, I'm right here.
It wasn't long before she and Spielberg married, in 1991 in fact, and continued to expand their family. As of early 2016, they're still living the high life with their multiple children.
My friend here thinks it's fine the way it is.
Number 2. Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter.
Because the first time you spoke, though...
At all? In life?
To Tim. When Tim...
Oh, yes.
The first phone call.
Yes.
That didn't sound like the beginning of a romance.
Well, for me it was, actually.
Oh.
Helena Bonham Carter's name has become synonymous with Tim Burton for several years now. Together, the pair is known for their macabre styles, their eccentricities, and their roles in dark movies. Helena in acting and Tim in directing.
I think a physician like you would find him fascinating.
So, being perfect for each other, the two began dating after Helena was cast in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes remake.
Oh, no. Not you again?
You know me. Just can't stand by while human beings are being mistreated.
They would date for over a decade, with Helena starring in many films that Tim directed, including Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd, and Alice in Wonderland.
Anyone with a head that large is welcome in my court. Someone find us some clothes. Use the curtains if you must, but clothe this enormous girl.
After 2 children together, the couple separated in 2014, saying that it was a mutual, peaceful break.
How dare you! Off with his head!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Do you see this human?
What of him?
I can't be positive, but I'm beginning to think the lichens are
Blessed.
And there, the only real, mark of the industry was Lucas.
Right.
JC, we're having supper at home tonight. I expect you there in 15 minutes. You hear?
Okay, Mama. I was just giving the boys a ride.
Well, you gonna stay in the movie business, or are you thinking of changing professions?
I want to run a late-night talk show.
Am I the best director you've worked with?
Definitely, without a doubt.
All right, there we go. Next question.
Number 1. Woody Allen and Diane Keaton.
This is Annie Hall.
Right.
Selby.
Who's playing with who here?
Annie Hall is at least partly based on Woody Allen's real relationship with Diane Keaton. According to Keaton, at least.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't, I've got to see a picture exactly from the start to the finish, because I'm anal.
And Allen reportedly wrote the titular character for the actress. The neurotic director and the free-spirited actress first met when Keaton auditioned for Allen's play Play It Again, Sam in the late 1960s.
And that's what I remembered about Woody in that day, was just that, oh my God, he is, I just had a big crush. Instantly.
The romance began instantaneously and lasted at least throughout the Broadway show's run, with Keaton later starring in a string of Woody's films that would form the apex of each other's careers.
No, I'm telling you, I'm your husband. I command you to sleep. Sleep.
Diane is not the only actress that Woody has dated. His relationship exploits are legendary, for better or for worse. And along with Keaton, he dated Louise Lasser, Stacey Nelkin, and Mia Farrow, all of whom he also directed in movies.
I would never want to belong to any club that would have someone like me for a member. That's the key joke of my adult life in terms of my relationships with women.
Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite director-actor couple?
It's okay, because I know exactly what that's like.
For more Starstruck Top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
Didn't think about that. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see.